Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon for a new NSL Live Talk session. We are at Paraclete XP still, or again actually, and this time XPG4 took the time in the middle of the training to speak with me, and I'm Kurt Gable, and I'm staying behind the camera because I have to keep my distance. And this way I can keep everybody in the frame, at least so far. So how was training today, Michelle?
It's going good. We're weathered out. It's a cloudy day, so we're doing some tunnel and then hopefully back to jumping tomorrow.
Jumping is on the agenda this time. Last time it was only indoor, but now, and you have already completed a few training jumps, Morgan. How many jumps do we have by now? Since
Ooh, you can answer that.
Oh, who's the stat?
I think we have about 100 jumps. The number girl.
100 jumps.
About 100, yeah.
And I'm sorry that this time we have a kind of a boring. This is a judging room at Paraclete XP here usually, and we have to use it because I forgot my equipment. Last time we were in the chamber, which was really entertaining and a lot of fun, and this time we have to do it here, but sorry for that. Irina, how do you say your last name? Mesharyakova?
Yeah,
right?
that's perfect.
Okay. So how do you like North Carolina?
No, I love it here.
You do?
we can train a lot, and that's the most important.
Yeah. Indoor, outdoor, everything in around the corner, right?
Yeah. Tunnel is closed, drop zone is closed. It's a really nice place to be for the training.
And Gina, you have a new family member. Tell us a story. Who's your new? You have a new person living in your household.
Yes, it started in March whenever we were here for the COVID shutdown and trying to get as much training as we could in, and her business, Amazon in Seattle, kind of shut the doors, so she was able to work remotely. And turns out we just had a little nudge and a poke here and there and convinced her to stay. I haven't ran her out yet, so.
Is she behaving well? Is she cooking once in a while and doing things?
She does.
Okay. Russian cuisine or any?
No? I don't think anything's really a Russian cuisine. She always just does like meat and veggies.
Yeah, something really simple. I try not to annoy them too much.
Okay, we had a little interruption here, and we just we were just finishing off the story with Irina and Gina's living commune there. And we had moved forward. We talked about jobs, or how you're switching. How it is a busy schedule for everybody, and the reason why why it caught my attention today too was when I saw this whiteboard here. Usually on the whiteboard we have a lot of sequences and jumps and all that. And this one has something special on top of that. Down there in the corner, and it says work. So Michelle 12 to 12:30, Irina 1 to 1:30, Michelle 4:30 again. Oh, we are limited on time here. Michelle, can you explain that quickly to us? What is it all about that? And Morgan is not on it, so we'll get to that too.
So for both Irina and myself, our offices have closed because of coronavirus, and so we're working remotely. And so if we're taking a jumping day, then we take time off of work. But wherever we can fit it in, if we can make a meeting, even though we're taking time off, then we try to work that into our schedule just to limit the amount of days and hours that we actually have to take off, so we can train more next year. So everyone's pretty flexible with that, and just trying to keep a balance as much as we can.
And Morgan, what are you doing in this? You're not on it? Not today, obviously, only. Because but how do you do your work when you're not at your work?
So I have fortunate to have a job where I can kind of leave work at work and take appropriate PTO when when I need to. And so my bosses have been really supportive, and so my schedule is very flexible. So I feel very fortunate in that sense. So I can take time off as long as we know in advance, and we do our best to plan our schedule as ahead as we can. But sometimes I can also do a swap here and there. So it's nice that I can come down, sometimes on planned times as well. Yeah.
Irina, your name is on it.
You're on the list.
You're on the list, and so is Gina, so you can prepare for your excuse. So, how are you? Who are you working for, and what are you doing, if I may ask?
Yes, I work for Amazon, so in data science area, and so as Michelle mentioned, I'm in the same situation, so I'm working remotely and just try to take any time we can, to be able to take additional meetings or, take some other tasks at work to minimize taking time off. But even if we take time off and can take some additional, get some additional work done, we try to make it happen. So, and the team has been very flexible with that because we all have additional responsibilities, and Michelle and Jean also have 8-way on top of everything, and we are really been very supportive, very flexible to work around it, and all of us being here is really helping us to maximize, achievements in all areas.
So Gina, when Irina is coming home, then first thing she does again, turn the laptop on, go to the room and work again,
or sleeps. I mean, she's every time I see her in the morning, at night, despite what time of day it is, she's working. She's working. She works a lot, and I think it's just who she is and her work ethic.
So, what are you doing for Amazon? I mean, I know that Mikhail is working for Google, right? You're working for Amazon, and those 4 big guys were interviewed. Did you watch your boss yesterday when he was grilled by the U.S. Congress? That you?
Oh yeah, I try to follow what's happening with Amazon.
Yeah. So what about you, Gina? Your work is, you're on there, obviously.
No, I'm not on the work list down there.
Oh no, you're not. Yeah, so right.
Because I skydive for work.
But you are, yeah, exactly. So you are busy. And now let's get to that now. We are juggling work, G4 training, skydiving work, 4-way, 8-way. So we get to that in a moment. I mean, that's an interesting agenda.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time here. So, for example, like this morning I was working with military guys, and when we finished with that, it just postponed our start day with the girls. Ideally, we'd like to start first thing in the morning, but we had to finish my previous job before we could do that. And then in order for us to get more training, we try to train on the weekends. So these girls can work during the week and we can jump during the weekends. But for me as a skydiver coach, that's my job, is the weekends. So I have to find time to shift the other guys that I'm coaching at night, take double shifts during the day, or I have to give my work away to somebody else in order to train with the girls.
And you can't do too much of that if you want to survive.
Yeah.
Right? So now let's get to the balance between 4-way and 8-way. We talked about this a little bit already, and I have discussed it, I think, with Niklas and Mikhail already, because they're in the same situation, right? Mm-hmm. So how is it for you personally? You're going back between 4-way and 8-way job, and so forth, but especially between 4-way and 8-way, they are. Or let me ask that. Mm-hmm. What are the major differences? How different is it? Is it difficult, hard? Is it enjoyable, easy?
So you mean switching back and forth?
Yes.
Or? I think switching back and forth is really easy. It's something that Gina and I have been doing for the past 5 years. So we've always had the double duty of 4-way and 8-way in one way or another. So switching from sort of an 8-way mindset to 4-way is not the issue. The bigger issue was the schedule. So making sure that we're getting all of our 8-way days leading up to the World Meet, filling it in pretty much anytime we're not training with 8-way, we've got 4-way on the calendar, and then trying to work around my and Irina's schedule, Morgan's schedule, and Gina's schedule. So the biggest hurdle or the most difficult thing is just finding time for everything.
So technically, it's not a big deal, like doing what you do in 4-way and 8-way techniques, 4-way techniques, style, and so forth. That's easy to master.
I mean, since we've been doing it for quite a while, I think it's something that we're used to, and it would be weird to only do one team. So I feel more comfortable doing both and just kind of, running on all cylinders every day.
Yeah. Now we have something very special in the 8-way team too, XP8. I just figured that out actually yesterday, I think, when I wrote a little update. You've had the whole ranch second generation team has now one or the other been involved in free fall with the 8-way team.
Yes.
Joey had his latest. How did he do? How did he do?
He did great. I was very proud of him. He did a wonderful job, and he had fun too. And I think it was great for everyone that he was able to help out. So I think overall, from R2G and 8-way with Gina, like this whole group of people is very, very close knit. So including Airspeed, Chris, Joey, John, BK, Kirk, Gina, and now Morgan and Arena. It's a very, very tight circle of people, and wherever we can, I feel like we try to help each other out. If I had some sinus problems and Joey was excited to do, a couple of jumps with the 8-way, and so we're very fortunate that we have such a close relationship with everyone, and everyone is such a great flyer, so it's, nice to have some backups when we need to. We're not scrambling around, so we're very lucky.
And I can ask him tomorrow, actually. You said that Airspeed is back in training tomorrow too, so we can ask him for his own experiences, his own impressions about it. Gina, you're in the same situation. How is it? Would you copy that, or do you have anything?
I have a little bit of a different experience than Michelle. I think Michelle's superpower is her mind. She handles a lot of pressure and she stays calm all the time. And mine is a little bit different between 4-way and 8-way. I think it is a mental challenge for me. I accept the challenge, but for me, my intensity level between 4-way and 8-way has to be shifted, and I have to kind of see a lot more in 8-way than I do in 4-way. I can kind of let the center of the universe revolve around me in 4-way, but in 8-way, I'm only a small part of it, and if I'm not in the right slot here, it echoes all the way down, and then suddenly now this person has to go 30 feet, versus just because of my 2 inches off. So I spend a lot of time doing the prep for the 8-way homework in regards of the bigger picture, and knowing that I can't, when I'm over the line, I know I'm flying at the 4-way intensity level, and 8-way is a little bit calmer in that regard, so I have to check myself there. The block techniques, some things are a little bit different. When we're turning block 18 and 8-way side body pieces, I have to make sure I'm not confusing that with block 21 and 4-way side body pieces, because it is a little bit different. For the 4-way homework, it's a little bit more getting familiar with my new slot. I've had the same slot 8-way for so long, and when I go to 4-way now, I've just moved completely to the other side of the formation, and now my homework for that one is all the small things of like, what do I do for this block, and who am I looking at there? So I do have a little bit of a different experience with it.
No 8-way for you, Irina. Morgan, are you sad? Are you jealous? Are you jealous?
I think Irina's jealous.
Would you like a little bit more? Would you like a little bit more on your plates? With the 8-way?
The answer is always yes.
Oh, you are an addict already at home. Okay, good.
Yeah, she is. She's in her free flying all the time. That's how much she's an addict.
I'm enjoying doing some free flying on my time off. I think it also makes me a better flyer. I'm trying to do some MFS. I know when I can, so that's something that I'm really excited about. But that would not my
day. It's not when you can.
Yeah. Yeah, but I would love to do 8-way if there is a pickup team for nationals, maybe. I would really love to do it. I really like 8-way, and we have our training, right? 4-on-4 camps. I'm trying to participate when Gina is running them. So I really like 8-way. It's very different from 4-way, and it's different discipline, always exciting.
Well, there's another lurker for a slot there, huh? That's how it's. I guess Christopher is probably looking carefully at, but Andrew Heppick is the alternate now, not Irina and not Christopher. It's Andrew. Well, he has trained a lot with you, right?
In that slot.
Yeah, we had Andrew was on 2 years with us? Yeah.
And it's the same slot as when he flew. So
Yeah, so it made a lot of sense while Matt's getting better. Just plug Andrew in, and it's been going great. So we're, Andrew's awesome teammate, and we're really excited to be flying with him. So it's really nice that he's able to fill in.
Recently, he was not available all the time because he had to jump with rhythm, and you got another former airspeed member into this. One of the celebrities in the sport, Craig Girard. How was it flying with him? Did anybody touch him?
I touched him.
You touched him? Tell us about that.
No, I actually I had a chance to fly with Craig before on 8-way training back when we were doing like 25 training jumps a year. But he's great. He's one of those guys. He's a chameleon, I feel like. And even if we have different technique, or even if we have different keying sequences, this guy can just get in there and do it no matter what slot he's in or where he's flying. He's amazing, and he really pushed us, because he was in there. We all wanted to do better. It's Craig Girard's in there. Of course, we want to really be on our best behavior, and so having that aspect in the team training, I know it wasn't our real team, but having him in there made us all just a step a notch more aggressive and more determined to put on a good show. We had some good jumps too.
Mm-hmm.
Did you touch him too, Michelle?
She's on the other side. She didn't get to touch it.
I didn't.
Did he tell you something at least about the Russians? Or did he give you some
so.
over beer or glass of wine end of the day, some insights there? No?
I didn't ask him. I don't know if he told Gina or Kirk anything, but
No? Okay.
no, he was having the time of his life flying with us. That's all I know. So.
He sounded very happy.
Yeah,
That's,
it was a lot
that's
of
for
fun.
sure. Yeah. So must have been good. Well, here is. I talked with Drew about this too. Here we have a 4-way competition team, and we have no competition. How does that work? How are you dealing with that? I mean, I know I'm missing. I can talk to you at least, and I get some information. I get entertainment and all that kind of stuff because it's fun to do. But I also miss posting scores and videos and all that stuff. How does it feel for you, Morgan and Irina? I mean, you want to compete, right?
Yeah. It's been a challenge because you feed off that competitive energy, and we're trying to just kind of bring it from within ourselves to kind of push ourselves every day to make sure we're making the appropriate progress. But it's nice to have something that you're looking forward to and really pushing for. And not that we're not doing that, but it's just a little bit more difficult when you're just very in limbo about all aspects of the competitive in the competitive world right now, because we don't know what's going to happen with nationals.
Right.
And we would love the competition experience is what we really are needing to get into our training schedule. So we're just trying to be flexible and ready to go when that time comes.
And you're used to testing yourself, on a regular basis. Irina, you were in the Seattle area. You were involved there somewhere in competition. And by the way, here to make sure that we know that too, that Gina and Morgan are also running the Indoor Cloud League events. That is, the lowest recruiting competitive level. And Michelle is running the Arizona Skydiving League together with Ileana. So you are definitely into competition. So let me ask you that question too, that I have asked quite a few times on my mission to promote not the NSL but competition. Why is it? What do you think is the reason that teams and competitors should go to meets and attend as many meets as possible? In a nutshell, Gina, what do you think?
I think the competition is huge because we can always try to do our personal best, but whenever you're in that that environment with everybody else, and you can feel the energy in the room without anybody even saying a word, or the silence on the plane before everybody exits. That little feeling in your gut, you can't emulate that when you're training. No matter how much you try, you can never do that. And I think that's why competition's important, because we may not have that many of them, but even if we get one competition before the big day, it gives us, it tells us a lot about ourselves. Like, you learn a lot about your teammates and how they perform under pressure just by being there with them. And I think you can't get that in training.
I see everybody nodding, at the same time. Do you have anything on top of that? How is it for you personally? Competition in general. What does it give you on top of what Gina already? Anything that?
Yeah, I agree with Gina from perspective that you really understand how good of a team you are, because this is where you really feel the part of the team, and you perform together. So you really feel it more than you feel during the training. And for me, it's also mental toughness, because you can be a very good athlete from from execution perspective. We all know how to do the blocks and how to fly together. But mental toughness, this is something that this is the muscle that you build during the competition. And this all comes together during the competition. And of course, right now, we know that competitions will eventually resume, and we are together not for this year nationals, we are together for a very long road, so I think this is something that keeps us motivated regardless what's happening right now. But of course, we are looking forward to go into the competition as soon as we have a chance.
Are you coming from other sports in your life too?
Yeah, so I was involved in some basketball in early years, and I'm enjoying all kinds of board sports like snowboarding and wakeboarding. So, yeah.
And competitive events.
And
too.
Competitive events, including, yeah. So
Indoors,
basketball would probably be closer because it's more like a team
every
sport.
week, probably a competition.
And yeah, it's more of a team sport. This is also where you understand how you perform under pressure and how you perform as a team. A little bit different from the board sports where you're more like an individual performer.
Gina, previous?
I am not an athlete, and I mean, I guess if you count,
Yeah, top
fall
athlete.
from an airplane, sure. I got a lot of practice falling, but I never played any sports, and my kids won't even play fetch with me in the backyard. I have zero coordination with anything except skydiving.
Well, how can you be so
I have
athletic?
no idea.
Interesting.
And it came almost easy to me to figure it out, but you
Wow.
ask me to throw a ball, you're just gonna laugh at me.
Interesting. Morgan?
I did all of them.
Oh, okay.
Every sport you can think of, I did.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And Michelle?
For sports, I ran track and did a lot of figure skating, and then I also was involved in a lot of piano and violin, so it's a lot of performing under pressure.
Yeah, that is performance under pressure too, no doubt. All right, well, I know that you have to go. Michelle has work at 4:30, and you have to fly before. So I'm afraid I have to come to an end here. And I want to thank you very much for sharing all of this with me and with everybody who is interested in. Keep going and have fun, and hopefully we'll see something from outdoor 4-way competition tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.